Welcome to PreMath. In this video, we are going to solve and check this given radical equation. Square root of x power 1 plus square root of x power 2 equals to square root of x cubed plus square root of x power 4. In other words, we are going to find the value of x. Please don't forget to give a thumbs up and subscribe. So let's go ahead and get started with the solution, and here's the very first thing we are going to do. Let's focus on this very first term. X power 1 could be written as simply x. So therefore we can write this very first term as square root of x plus, let's focus on this second term. This square and square root, they undo each other. So this is simply is going to become x equals to, now let's focus on our this term on the right hand side, square root of x power 3. And here I have copied it down. And now this radicand x power 3 could be written as x power 2 times x. And now we can break them down, and they could be written as a square root of x squared times square root of simply x. And now we can see that this square and square root, they undo each other. So that is only going to give us x times square root of x. So therefore this term on the right hand side could be written as x times square root of x, and then plus, let's focus on this one, square root of x power 4. And here I have copied it down, and now this radicand x power 4 could be broken down to x square times x square. Now we can break down this radical, so we got simply square root of x square times square root of x square as well. And now we can see this square root, they undo each other. Likewise, this square and square root, they are gone. So that is going to give us x times x. Now x times x is same as x square. So therefore we can write this part as simply x square. Now let's go ahead and move these terms on the left hand side. So this equation could be written as, we already have a square root of x and then plus x. When we move these one on the left hand side, becomes a negative x times square root of x and then minus x square equals to 0 on the right hand side. Now let's go ahead and tweak these very first two terms. We can see there's nothing else is common except 1. So therefore first two terms could be written as 1 times square root of x plus x. And now let's focus on these next two terms. We can see that x is in common. So let's go ahead and take a factor negative x outside. So in parentheses we're going to have square root of x and then plus x equals to 0. And now we can see that we have a square root of x plus x and then square root of x plus x is in common. So let's go ahead and factor that one out. So we can write this thing square root of x and then plus x times 1 minus x equals to 0. And now let's focus on this part over here, x. Let's go ahead and tweak this one. And here I have copied it down, x. And now this could be written as a square root of x square. Now this radicand x square could be written as x times x. And if we break them down, we can write them as a square root of x times square root of x. Therefore, I'm going to replace this x by this square root of x times square root of x. So we can write this equation as square root of x plus, I'm going to replace this one, square root of x times square root of x and then times 1 minus x equals to 0. Now let's focus on this part. We can see that square root x is in common. So therefore we can write square root of x outside, and inside the parentheses is going to be a 1 plus square root of x, and then times this part as well. So that's going to be a 1 minus x equals to 0. Now we can see that we have a 3 factors equal to 0. Let's go ahead and separate them. I can write this one square root of x equal to 0. The other factor is 1 plus square root of x equal to 0. And finally, this is going to be a 1 minus x equal to 0. Now let's focus on this first part of this grid. We can take the square on both sides. So we can see this square and square root, they undo each other. So simply we got x equal to 0 square equal to same as 0. So our one of the solutions turns out to be x equal to 0. Now let's focus on this second part of this grid, and here I am going to move this 1 on the right hand side. So we ended up with the square root of x equal to negative 1. Now let's go ahead and take the square on both sides, this side and this side as well. So this square root is gone, so x turns out to be negative 1 square is same as positive 1. So another solution is x equal to 1. Now let's focus on this last part of this grid. Let's move this negative x on the right hand side. So we got 1 equal to x. So thus our solution x turns out to be equal to 1. And here's our final step. Let's go ahead and check our solutions x equal to 0. So let's go ahead and check our solution at x equal to 0. So we are going to replace this x by 0 in this original equation. Wherever we see x, I'm going to replace it by 0. Here I have replaced x by 0, and we're going to see whether the left hand side is same as the right hand side. And now we can see that on the left hand side this turns out to be 0, and the right hand side 0 as well. And we can see that this is indeed a true statement. So therefore we conclude that x equal to 0 is a valid solution. And now let's go ahead and check our solution for x equal to 1 as well. So that means wherever we see x, I am going to replace it by 1. And here in this next step I have replaced x by 1, and let's see whether the left hand side is indeed equal to right hand side. And now if we simplify this thing, we are going to get 2 on the left hand side equals to 2 on the right hand side as well. So this indeed is a true statement as well. So therefore we conclude that x equals to 1 is a valid solution. So thus our solution turns out to be x equal to 0 and x equal to 1. Thanks for watching, and please don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more exciting videos. Bye.